Hello, this is Kaylee with KMC Creations 1. I've had a lot of questions on how I made this shirt, so today I'm going to show you. The first thing you need to do is apply your heat and bond to your fabric. And I've already cut my fabric and my heat and bond. I use the Heat and Bond Ultra because you don't have to sew anything, so it shouldn't come off in the wash. And you want to put the rough side down. It's pretty noticeable which is the rough side. And you're going to just put it on here, and then you're going to iron it on. I use a heat setting of 4, which is blend. And then you just basically want to iron it until it's all on there. And you want to do it just like when you're pressing HTV. You don't want to try not to rub it. You want to just press and then move. Okay, now that it's ironed on, all you're going to do is peel this paper backing off. And then you're going to put the side that you just applied the glue to. You're going to put your fabric on here, and you want to make sure you have either a new mat or a mat that's really sticky, because you do want the fabric to sit on there pretty well. So you're going to put that on here, and then I'm going to show you how to cut it. So this is the design I'm using. I always just color it because it's going to help. It helps me whenever I get ready to do the outline. So this is I haven't done anything to it besides make my machine. I made sure I welded it, and now we're ready to cut it. These are the settings I use on my machine. Every machine might be a little different, and depending on the thickness of your fabric, it could also vary. So we're gonna go ahead and load our machine. And then we're gonna send it. So while this is cutting, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do the offset for the outline on my design. So basically what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is create an offset for this. So I just go to the offset window, offset, and I use the setting that automatically does it, and as you can see, the outline is there. So you just hit apply. And then this is where I go in and I add a color to the offset. That way you can see what it's gonna look like. Okay, so as you can see now, if I move this, you don't want that whole thing. So what I do is I do Control A to select all, and then I go to, where's the window I go to? Okay, so I go to this little window here, and then I click subtract all. It's gonna subtract all. So as you can see now, you only have your outline. So this red, you're not gonna use this anymore, so you can go ahead and move it off your page. So this is the only thing that you're gonna cut for your glitter HTV or whatever HTV you're gonna be using with the fabric. And I will show you the settings I use in just a minute. This is done cutting. We're gonna go ahead and cut the outline for our shirts. Now you always want to make, since it's HTV, you want to make sure you always mirror it. I've made the mistake many times of not mirroring it, so just make sure you go ahead and mirror it. And then I always just draw a box around it. That way I don't waste a bunch of HTV when I'm weeding it. Okay, so now, oh, I forgot, I don't use a mat when I cut this stuff, so I always have to remember to go in and change it to no mat, which is right here. And you can use a mat, it doesn't really matter. Either way, whatever you prefer. Let me move this back in here. Okay, so now for the cut settings that I use for glitter, I'm using glitter HTV. These are the settings that I use. Like I said, everybody's machine might be a little different, but these are just the settings that I always use. So I'm going to go ahead and load my glitter HTV in here. Oh, it didn't take right. Let me redo that. Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and send it to our silhouette. And you always want to make sure that you put the shiny side down. While that's cutting, basically all you're going to do is you're going to pull this up, and it does cut all the way through, but it should weed out pretty easily, and you just want to pull all of this out. Pardon me, I'm trying to use this one hand, and this is also my first video tutorial, so bear with me. And then you're going to peel out, you can either peel out all the little pieces, or you can just go ahead and pull up your big design like this. And you're going to do that for the whole thing. I have weeded both pieces. There's my fabric. Yes, it's going to be a little flimsy, normal. And then here's my HTV. So here's how I do it. You're going to take this fabric piece. You know, your HTV is mirrored. Bear with me here. I have a really small working space. So you're gonna flip it over. And then basically all you're going to do is, since this is sticky, you're going to take this and you're going to line it up. You're going to put it in and you're going to line it up all the way around until you do the whole thing. So just like that, and it's really hard to do with one hand. So I'm going to do the whole thing and then I'll be back. I finished putting my fabric on with my HTV. So once you're done, it should look like this. And it's ready to be ironed onto your garment. And one thing I did forget to mention, what's really awesome about this design, you know, most of the time you would lose all of this HTV, but if you're careful and you don't rip it when you're weeding it, you actually have another monogram that you can iron onto another shirt. So now we're gonna go press it and see what our end result is. Okay, I have it on my shirt. Sorry, these lights in here are really bright, so it kind of sucks for videoing, but so we have it on, and I'm just going to press it like normal. Some of you may frown upon me for doing this, but I just put the iron directly on it. So you're going to press it like you normally would for your HTV, and then you're going to peel it off when we're done. So I finished pressing, and there's your end result. Bling bling. Hope y'all enjoyed.